Hey everyone, welcome to the Green Room. I'm Heather Ludlow,
And I'm Amber Greene.
and this episode is a big one. It's our first episode of the new year and our first episode with our new name.
The Green Room. I
Green
wonder
Room.
how we came up with that.
Just pulled it right out of the air.
Sure, there's green on the wall, but we're so we're so unique.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we really are.
But we are excited about our first show of the new year, and so our show is just about pulling up a seat, having real conversations, and we like to talk about things in real estate that really matter to people.
Yeah. And for our first show back, we have some really great guests. We have Mike Pearson and we have Jamie Kester with Chicago Title. And they are going to break down the title world for us in layman's terms, hopefully.
And before we get started, thank you for meeting with our brokers and doing a lunch and learn today. And you brought lunch for us and taught some of our brokers some things we needed to know. So we appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, that was an honor and a blessing. Thank you so much. That was really cool.
Yeah.
We love to educate. It's such a big part of this industry.
It is. Right. It is. It's an important piece that sometimes gets missed a little bit. And so we like to make sure our brokers have the education they need to succeed. So thank you guys so much.
Okay, so we're going to start easy. Come on. So tell everyone a little about yourselves and what your roles are with Chicago Title.
Sure.
Thank you. I have been with Chicago Title for 22 years. For 18 years, I started out as what we call business consultants, is another fancy word for sales reps. I came from a medical background, and so I had relatives in title. I had no idea what it meant, but here I am 22 years later, and I absolutely love it. I love the relationships that we build. I'm from the South Side, been married for 5 years, have a stepdaughter, and on my free time, I love to coach for volleyball and basketball.
Oh, I love that. How fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm Mike Pearson. I'm entering my 27th year in the industry, believe it or not. Started in 1999 as a title searcher, and so the first 11 years or so in the business was at the courthouses. Basically what we talked about today was going over the title commitment. My wife and I were the guys behind the guy that helped provide that data for the title commitments. We currently own a small business that is still running since 2004. In 2010, I started into title sales. It was a great transition from courthouse to having that knowledge to getting out in the field in title sales. And for 6 years, I was a business consultant or sales rep in the industry, and decided to try my hand at mortgage financing. So for about 9 years, I was a loan originator, and probably should have returned 5 years plus ago. I'm just so happy to be back home in title. This is my knowledge base, my comfort level, and I'm so thrilled to be back. So.
So you guys have 49 years of combined experience in real estate.
Whoa.
Yeah. You guys are experts. You're experts.
We like to think.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest questions we get from buyers and sellers is, what is title insurance? Why do I need it? Can you just kind of break that down for us in plain language that everybody can understand?
Sure. Would you like to take question one?
Sure.
Okay.
So basically, title insurance or an owner's policy is going to protect a buyer. It's likely the biggest investment that they're making of their lifetime. And so when they have an insured closing transaction, we're doing a search. We're making sure who our current vested owner is. We're making sure like what judgments, or if there are any judgments or liens or mortgages that would encumber the property. So we're looking at research, seeing what like if the property taxes, what those are, if they've been paid. And basically the insurance is taking care of things that may have happened in the past for them. It's different than car insurance or homeowners. And it's great because in our marketplace, the sellers pay for it. Traditionally here, when a purchase agreement is written up, it's usually the seller paying for it. And the seller's proving that they have free and clear title to the buyer.
Yeah.
It's a unique insurance because maybe you guys can think of another, but it's the only insurance that will insure backward as opposed to a future event. So life insurance, auto, health, those are protection for future events where title insurance is going to stop at the day of closing and insure all the way back to the, believe it or not, the land grants of the United States of America to our Hoosier settlers.
Wow, that's a great explanation too, because I think a lot of people, when they see it on the line item, they just feel like it's another fee.
Yeah.
So for them to really understand, there's a big
Mhm.
reason for it.
Oh, sure.
It's a very important part of what we do.
One of the most important.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Thank you for saying
It's true.
that.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have an example that you could kind of share with the audience about why it's so important, like a real world kind of situation?
Heather, we do, and matter of fact, it just happened fairly recently. We had a client that was being advised by an attorney out of state, and they were advised to not to accept an insurance policy on a transaction, and there was an item that showed up on title later. I don't know if it was a miss, or I don't know exactly how it didn't make the title commitment, but we will close without title insurance. Some people choose to not have it, and we later found out that there was. Do you remember the dollar amount? It's around $17,000 judgment that had occurred, and unfortunately that buyer was on the hook for that, where otherwise, had title insurance been taken, or
I know that situation.
Yeah.
It was the attorney advised their buyer they took a credit for the homeowner's policy because the seller pays for it. They did a credit instead. They didn't ask for a policy, and that judgment happened in our gap period.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have insurance coverage.
Wow.
So there's judgments that can show we can't search back. Like if something was recorded today and we close tomorrow, that's another form of insurance, and we cover that gap period. Well,
effective date on the title
Yeah.
on the title commitment.
Sure.
and they were advised that the attorney said she had done her own search as well, and they didn't need title insurance. So
Yeah. So what happens? That attaches to the property, and
Yeah.
whenever that, if the buyer, now owner, doesn't address that, then they will certainly when they go to sell the property.
And I'm sure that credit wasn't $17,000.
Hey,
Credit, right? Because they were trying
No.
to save money or something, or
Yeah.
get that. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Scary.
It
Right.
is scary. Yeah.
So we've talked about why title insurance is important. I guess a question would be, why is it important what title company you choose to issue it?
There are.
Does it matter who your title company is? I guess. Are you guys all the same, or are there differences?
We are not. There, and I will tell you on the west side where we are. You guys are extremely blessed for a lot of. I tend to adore a lot of our competitors. We know each other,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
so certainly it's going to be relationships where you feel the most comfortable with. There are good title companies, but there are some that will cut corners and not necessarily do the right thing by you or your client, and you need to be aware of that. And I certainly am not going to name any names, but there are title companies that will, their risk assessment may be different than a national underwriter that's been around since 1847, as we were talking
And I
about
was gonna
earlier.
say,
Yeah.
I like that 1847. I mean, that's 170 some years.
Let's not do math today.
Well, that's a long time.
It is.
It's a long time.
It is.
Just put it at
It
that.
is, and there's a reason for that,
Right.
and it's because our risk assessment is pure, and we try to do the right thing. Number one, for ourselves, to make sure that our calculated risk is manageable, and that we do the right things by our clients and yours.
And it's
So
important. Yeah.
it is. I mean, and in our market, we've seen a lot of when the market's good, you see a lot of real estate agents, right, get their license. They think
Yeah.
it's easy, and we know it's not.
Yes.
You see a lot of lenders get into the business, and then you see a lot of new title companies. But when the market goes down, or
Only the strong survive.
yes,
Yeah.
and it's important if
Yeah.
it's a home that you're purchasing and you're going to be there. You're going to be there 10, 15 years, raise your family. to have a policy with somebody that's proven themselves in the market, it's very vital.
Yeah, I agree. And when things are smooth, it's fine. But when something goes wrong, you want to have the right team on your side
Yeah.
to guide you through all that. And so I think that makes it super important.
That is
It's who you
correct.
choose.
You bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah.
What are some of the most common title issues that you're seeing right now?
So there is a slight concern with some fraudulent transactions, and we tend to find them more in right now. We tend to find them more in land only transactions. We had a pretty lengthy discussion ahead of the podcast that where sellers are not being their data is being either duplicated or where if fraudsters are going to fraud, right? So they're people's data are being stolen and being misrepresented as I'm the seller of this property when I'm actually not. So we have to be extremely cognizant of that. And what we try to do on that is send a letter directly to the mailing address per the tax scope record, and try to uh, create or have some contact with that seller. POAs that are power of attorneys that are either not done properly or they have been, and recognition of a power of attorney that has the rights and when. So if a power of attorney is presented as should a signer be incapacitated, well, that doesn't mean that a power of attorney can work on a transaction today because the seller or the owner of the power of attorney may be in perfectly fine mental health. So there are typically if-then scenarios with a power of attorney that are often overlooked. You have anything to add as far as?
No, I just think that the vacant land, and I think the one thing that Chicago Title, we enforce, it has to be one of our notaries, and that's protecting all parties. And I'm shocked that I still see other title companies where they allow any notary, and we see fraudulent notaries out there. And so that's how the vacant land, it's like they've got somebody that's a fraudulent, fraudulent notary.
And
So
you guys only use your own notaries.
correct. They're vetted. I mean, you have to have your notary for at least 2 years, E&O insurance, title license. There's a lot of different things that we go through. And with us being a Fortune 500 company, we have approved notaries all over the United States.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Be careful how we talk about this today on air, but we've had about 6 transactional attempts at a new type of program that is not certain. We're not certainly not familiar with in this state. I think it's not okay. But have you guys heard of a novation transaction?
Have heard of one.
Yes.
Yes. So we've had 4 recently that we've had to turn away. It's basically
4 in our Avon and like 2 in our north
side
office.
office. Yeah. So those are transactions where the middleman.
Yeah,
It's a wholesale type of
Yes.
transaction without an assignment, and so the middleman is attempting to create an invoice to be paid at closing as opposed to so it's a ghost purchase agreement, and it ultimately goes away. That's the novation buyer, and instead of being 1099 or being recognized by their IRS, they're invoicing for services rendered and trying to collect their funds that way. So I don't know a lot about them yet. It's in its infancy. I guess entrance into Indiana.
Yeah, and there are
So-
some companies that are doing it here now.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot to discuss about those, but right now it's Chicago Title stance to not insure those. So we've got to be kind of careful.
There's
about,
red flags. I mean,
there's huge red flags in my opinion. In my opinion.
It sounds like. And so all of this legwork that you guys do, I'm sure that, if there are other title companies that aren't doing that, it could probably affect timelines and
Certainly.
a whole myriad of things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
We want transactions to go smoothly, right? So from your perspective, what are some things that buyers and sellers can do to make things go more smoothly? and what can real estate brokers do as well.
Sure.
Mhm.
I think that upfront, from our realtors, just providing, if you're listing a property, providing a payoff authorization form in a timely manner. Payoffs are taking 10 to 12 days for us to get in.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Homeowner, we have to order a homeowners association letter. What are the amount of the dues? And unfortunately, in our marketplace, we're finding a lot of management companies that require a processing fee up front,
Mhm.
and that's slowing down our transactions. So we just need to make sure that the listing agent gets that information over to the seller. They pay the fee up front. They need to do that in a timely manner because then usually about 10 to 12 days we'll get a letter.
Mhm.
Okay.
So just being upfront and getting us all the vital information that we need for the transaction to close. And again, that's account number, social security number, signing an authorization for us to be able to order that payoff. If there's a power of attorney, getting that upfront so that we can make sure that it's done properly.
Right.
What other?
Yeah, it's proper preparation, right?
And
So
communication.
Yeah.
Communication's key.
Yeah.
Amazing
Yeah.
what communication can do, right?
It's so amazing.
It's really not that hard.
No.
and I think you'll notice that in our profession we like to talk.
Right. We all do.
But I think it's also incumbent on us to listen because our buyers and sellers will talk. They will talk. They'll provide the information that your ears can pick up on. Okay, well that may be some data I need to collect, right?
Right.
Because when we're talking about I've owned this property with my sister for 30 years and she's no longer with us. Well, okay, that gives me an idea of what information I may need to collect or the title company will need to collect.
Yeah.
So if we can just kind of back off, listen a little bit, identify what the need is, and then and communicate with your client how vital this information is likely going to be for the title company,
Yeah.
it's going to make the transaction a whole lot smoother.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like just even those small little details are going to just make a big difference in the grand scheme of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And is there any difference in any other industry? So, I mean, right? It's pay attention to the details,
Yep.
take care of your customer, and things will work themselves out.
I agree. Absolutely. So this might be my favorite question. What are some things that consumers are surprised to learn about title and closings and ownership that you guys have run
One
into?
that sticks out right now, we get a lot of calls. Consumers or homeowners are receiving letters in the mail, and it's a company that charges, like if you've
For the
had
deed?
for the deed.
Yeah.
Most of
Yeah.
your counties, you can most of your counties here in our local marketplace, you can go down and fill out information, so you'll get notified if there's something that changes with your deed. Like you're
Yes.
immediately notified. So with all this vacant land fraud that we're seeing, that's what I advise consumers to do. Go to your local county. Don't pay a service for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's free already.
It's
Yes.
free already.
So that's one big thing that
That's a good one to point
Yeah.
out because a lot of people don't know that. I get
Mhm.
calls all the time.
Uh-huh.
Like a couple of weeks ago, I got a call and they were like, "Is this legit?" And I'm like, "No."
It's interesting how a theme here has been scammers.
it's scary.
No, like
It's scary.
why are there so many scammers out there?
Talk about it in the industry. Scammers going to scam. That's what they do.
Yeah, fraudsters are gonna fraud.
Fraudsters are going to fraud.
Imagine if they took all that and used it for good.
For good?
Yeah.
No, I think
That's
about that all the
A lot better
time.
place,
All the
you
time.
Darn it.
No, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, that's exactly why we wanted to kind of sit down with you guys, have this conversation, because there is a lot of crazy things that happen that people aren't aware of. And so it's good to get them that information and pass that along.
I think with the last question, I wasn't sure where we were going with that, but I think it's also important on this in this arena to let our industry know just a brief touch on the FinCEN reporting rules.
Yeah.
So effective March 1st, there are going to be some pretty impactful changes of requirements of title. We're going to have to report on some information that our past clients may have never. So you're going to get a lot of gnashing of teeth and stomping of feet of, I've never had to do this before. Well, guess what? So nationally, there's going to be some implications of reporting for some certain criteria of transaction to include primary residence of 1 to 4 family, or single family residence of 1 to 4 family, a non-finance transaction that could include our hard money lenders,
Yep.
gift funds, any derived funds of anything that could be an entity or a business, and then most importantly, like those two combined with a business entity or a trust that could be impacted. So ask your local title professional about the FinCEN reporting rules, because it's coming. It's going to be impactful, and we need to have a little bit of education on it.
Right, and again, it's all about combating fraud.
Correct.
Yes.
That's the whole point of it.
That's the whole point of
Yeah.
it. Again, yeah,
right.
to go along with your thing. Yes.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, we've gone over a lot of things. Is there anything that you're excited about right now? I mean, obviously not the FinCEN report part. Is there
Definitely not
anything you're excited about right now, or that you really think it's important for consumers to understand?
Sure. You want to take-
Uh,
I want to answer on that one too.
yeah, I go.
I
You're doing
am
great.
I think
Of course, great.
Yeah. I was nervous as hell.
We were nervous when we first started too,
We were.
and it's really just fun. And
Yeah.
you just, we just.
So you get seem
Yeah.
so natural at this. Like
Yeah,
it's
we're
pretty
just
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first, we're like, we're just two friends talking about real estate, and so we kind of looked at it like that.
Yeah.
And then it's always fun to start having guests. We didn't have guests for the first couple of shows.
Yeah, we love to have guests.
I know.
It's
'cause
fun.
I mean, I'm
Holly
excited
said-
about the market. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's
smart.
exactly where I was
It's
headed.
getting better. I think.
We've lived through, is it fair to say, 6 markets in 6 years?
Ooh.
5 markets in 6 years?
That's a good point to
I
make.
think that's a great point.
Yeah. So I think that
I think you might be right.
we have a
Yeah.
real opportunity over these next couple of years to introduce those that have been shut out of the market. And there's probably a better term for that, but that have been left out because of market values, because interest rates being elevated. And I'm really excited about our future, because I think that we'll have an opportunity to see some of those folks come back in. I've always loved working with first time buyers. They're so wide eyed and
Yep.
excited about having an opportunity. So I do hope that we'll be able to see that. I think that the interest rates are likely to decline. I will talk off air about that, but not on air. I'm not.
We're almost below 6, right? Almost.
I haven't looked today, but
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, and I think
40.
it'll
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
I feel-
And what's that number that allows a client with a 3.5% interest rate to buy that next house? Is it
Side
5.5? Is it 5.75? I don't know, but there's a number where we're going to see a release of the floodgates. I think
I do too.
that will
Yep.
that will help affordability for purchase. And then oh gosh, I've had this 3.5% rate, or this 3% rate, or this 2 1/8 15-year note. No way am I okay. Well, now maybe I'll jump back in.
And I think you're going to have a lot of people doing that second move up, right?
Yeah.
They bought their first home at that low interest rate, but now they're having kids or they need more space or whatever. You're right. I think they're going to decide, okay, I'm going to give up my 3.5% interest rate now.
Yeah, and
But that's a hard thing to let go of.
And let's not forget about the downsizers that are in the house.
Oh,
It's way
yeah.
too big for them, but
Good
they
point.
didn't want to buy it
Yeah.
7.5%.
If it'll change because I was shocked. Was it last year that the number, your first time home buyer, the age was like, is it 40?
It's
40.
And it used to
40.
be,
Yes.
I mean, so I wonder if we'll see that change with the market improving and
Hope so. I'd
yeah.
like to see these. I mean, I
Yeah.
call them kids because I'm older now, but
Yeah.
see these younger kids be able to start, building their lives and build us some equity, and
Mhm. Yeah.
100%.
for
Yeah.
sure, absolutely.
There's lots to be excited about, Amber. So yeah.
And we'll take on these fraudsters.
We sure will.
They're not gonna
Read it right out of the industry.
read on this real estate grade. Well, this has been really good and eye opening. I mean, I learned some things. I learned some things back there with you guys teaching us, in depth. And I hope
Yes.
our viewers learn some things.
Yeah,
Um,
I think they have to have. I mean,
yeah.
these guys are a wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
50 years experience.
thank you. That. I will be 50 this year, so I'm like, let's.
I just turned 52.
She just turned 52.
Heather neighbor, let's say that one more time. How old Jamie and I are.
List. I'm 52. How old are you?
51.
Yeah, I'm the old.
You certainly don't look like it.
Finally.
Yep.
What is that? Such a good day.
Oh,
I'm happy that we can help you with that.
Guys, I appreciate
Whatever
you
it
so much.
takes.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
That's right.
thank you for having us here.
Oh,
This
yeah,
has been.
it's been
You're
a
welcome.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I kudos to you guys for allowing us to come in and educate your agents. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and
Yeah.
I think if any brokerage can take advantage of a title company wanting to do title training, a lender wanting to come in and explain how the process works, it's
We want to make sure our agents know what they're doing
Yeah.
and serving clients well. That's a big deal.
It is a
and
big
I'm
deal.
not sure that all brokerages necessarily focus on that, but we're really going to try to do that even
Yeah.
more so this year,
Mhm.
just to make sure that, because I think there's always changes, right?
absolutely.
And I just
It's
feel like,
constantly moving.
and I feel
Oh.
like there's just going to be a lot in the next couple of years. So we're really trying to stay on top of that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Do we have any questions? No. No
Nope.
question. Well, that's because they're so knowledgeable.
13 years knowledgeable.
That knowledge.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Thank you
So.
for the kind words. Thank
oh,
you.
you're welcome. We meant them.
Absolutely. Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. Well, we appreciate you guys for joining
Thank
us, and yeah, we're excited to partner with you guys this coming year. And
Love it.
Thank you for turning in.
tuning in.
To the green room, and we'll see
Yeah.
you next week.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
have another special guest.
Yeah.
So Jerry Burnholt,
Yeah.
who's a local legend around here. So we're excited to have him.
He's a
and-
local real estate broker, and
Yep.
So we're gonna talk with him and see what he's got to say.
He's an interesting guy. So we're
Interesting
excited to have
fellow.
him. Yeah. So join us next week at 1:00 in the green room.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank
Have
you.
a great evening.
Thank you.